This boy was talking to the fish alone. The two bullies sprang out. Seeing the boy being bullied, the shark was angry, hitting the glass hard. The shark was very excited. There was a crack in the glass. People were stunned. The boy held out a hand. Instantly, the shark immediately quieted down. He opened his eyes. His pupils turned golden. In the aquarium, the fish was coming to him. Originally, this boy had superpowers. He could communicate with fish. His name was Arthur. His father was an ordinary man. One night, by the sea, his father saved a beautiful woman. This woman was a little strange, taking a trident and throwing it with a huge force. If she was hungry, she would put a golden fish in her mouth. I am gonna make you some eggs. Originally, she was the mermaid queen of Atlantis. To escape marriage, she swam to the shore. In the process of getting along, they got closer. Soon, the little Arthur was born. A family of 3 lived happily together. However, the king of the Atlantis unexpectedly burst, sending his man to the land. For the safety of her son and husband, the queen chose to return to the sea. Since then, she disappeared. Arthur grew up differently. Since childhood, he could communicate with fish. When growing up, he found himself breathing underwater, swimming faster than fish. He could also control fish. One day, an old man jumped out of the sea, saying he was his mother's subordinate, coming to teach him kung fu. From then on, the man became his mentor. The mentor took a harpoon to fight on the beach. At that time, Arthur was extremely quiet. It turned out that his mother went back to the sea to marry the king and gave birth to a prince. The king found Arthur. Out of jealousy, the king threw his mother into the trench. He fed her to the fish. Arthur was angry. He picked up the trident, throwing it over. Evermore, he never saw the mentor again. 10 years from then, pirates attacked a military submarine. The pirate leader was very arrogant, killing members of the submarine. Suddenly, the submarine shook. A strong man lifted the submarine, flying out of the water. He fought the pirates, rescuing the trapped crew. He was Arthur when growing up. Arthur now not only had the infinite force but also had ability to heal quickly. Being stabbed with a sword, even shells couldn't hurt him at all. Over the years, he was a chivalrous man on the sea, already having a reputation. Some people came to find trouble.
You that fish boy from the TV?
What do you want?
Can we get a picture with you?
But first, let me take a selfie.
This pink mobile phone case was worthy of being exclusive to him. The same evening, Arthur drove his dad home. He saw a huge wave on the beach hitting the shore. The car was swept into the waves. He was thrown out. His dad and the car went missing. Arthur was crazily looking everywhere in the water. In the critical moment, the blue light flashed by. He saw a beautiful woman getting out of the waves. She manipulated the sea to find his car, saving his father. The beauty's name was Mera. She was the sea princess. She was looking for Arthur. She wanted him to go back to the sea and inherit the throne, saving the underwater world. Because her half-brother's army was being assembled, he intended to attack the land. The mermaids under the sea originally lived on the land. Her half-brother was too greedy, wanting to merge the 3 worlds. The result was a disaster. The sea swallowed everything. Atlantis sank to the bottom of the sea, being split into 7 countries. Some people had evolved, becoming mermaids with superpowers. Some people degenerated, becoming monsters. Nowadays, 7 countries gathered together, intending to attack the land. Over the years, people on land dumped rubbish into the ocean, causing water pollution. Living in the trash, the underwater residents' life was threatened. The new king was a bad man. With his big hand, he created a tsunami, throwing all the rubbish back. And now, he was assembling troops to unify the seabed, then completely destroyed the land people. To prevent this disaster, Arthur consulted with his mentor. The mentor told him if he wanted to save mankind, he could only find the golden trident, becoming the king of the ocean. He gave Arthur an iron box. The trident clue was right inside the box. The guards suddenly broke in. The enemy was numerous. Arthur was caught. When he opened his eyes, he saw his half-brother. The 2 brothers met for the first time. They immediately hated each other, claiming that there was going to be a fight. But Arthur was unfamiliar with fighting in the water. After a while, he was defeated. The weapon in his hand was also broken. At the critical moment, Mera came to save his life. The 2 fled in a ship. Countless sea tribes were chasing behind them. Soon, the ship was shot down. It seemed to fall into the magma. In the last second, they escaped. Arthur used his superpower to control the giant whale and hid in its mouth to get back to the shore. According to the clue, they came to the Sahara looking for the trail of the golden trident. In the desert, they found it located in one of the 7 nations of Atlantis. Mera used a drop of water between Arthur's eyebrows to active image mechanism, getting new clues about the trident. According to the map, they came to Sicily. Mera came to land for the first time. She fell in love with this novel world. They happily ate rose petals. Soon, Arthur found a new clue. Through the journey, their feelings were growing. Suddenly, the pursuers arrived. A fight began. The enemy's equipment was too strong. In a frontal battle, Arthur was not their match at all. They fought and fled. Mera fled to the wine store. Her ability burst. One hit killed a group of soldiers. Arthur made a sneak attack with a pendulum, ending the strongest black manta ray. The two were wounded. They came to the last stop of the treasure hunt, the trench. They were attacked by sea monsters, being ambushed ferociously. Arthur held a torch and jumped into the sea. Surrounded by sea monsters, it made their scalps numb. Fortunately, sea monsters were afraid of fire. The two protected the fire. All the way to escape, the sea monsters were chasing after them. The torch went out. That was terrible. Sea monsters swarmed up. There was a bright light ahead, lightning and thunder. The sea monsters retreated one after another. Arthur held Mera's hand and got into the electric light. Instantly, the two were split. Mera was eaten by the monster. A figure rushed out and saved her. The mysterious person took off the mask. Arthur was stunned. It was his mother, who had been dead for many years. More than 20 years later, she was here again. The two held each other, shedding tears of happiness. Originally, the queen was sacrificed to the trench. She wasn't dead but being trapped here. She had lived for more than 20 years. If she wanted to go out, she could only rely on the trident. But the trident was guarded by ancient beasts. Only the real king could pass the test. To save his mother and stop the war, Arthur stepped into the cave. After getting in, he found out it was dark here. It was the site of the old world of Atlantis. The golden trident was glowing with gold on the throne. He went to get it. A tentacle sprang out. It was the sea monster. Arthur was defeated by it. In the critical moment, his superpower burst just like when he was a child. He communicated with the sea creatures. The monster growled,
"You understand me?" "I do."
The sea monster was very surprised. All these years, except for the early king, Arthur was the only one who could communicate with it. It was willing to give him a chance. Arthur ascended to the throne, holding the trident. His eyes were glowing. Instantly, divine power poured into his body. The power of the Sea King was awakened. He walked out of the waterfall, wearing gold armor, holding the trident, majestic looking. On the other side, his half-brother was attacking the saltwater. As this place was conquered, he could unify the whole of Atlantis. War was imminent. The Saltwater Clan was a group of crabs, having a simple mind but developed limbs. They were nothing compared to these elite soldiers. The Saltwater King was captured. The saltwater was going to be defeated. Suddenly, a giant beast emerged from the ground. It just waved its hand. A huge warship was destroyed. Facing with such a behemoth, the army was vulnerable. Arthur used his superpower, forming an army of sea creatures, defeating the mermaid army in an instant. After the war, Arthur's army was exhausted. His half-brothers was still strong. Arthur couldn't bear it. He wanted to end the war as soon as possible. He led his brother out of the water, solo battle. This was the life and death battle, also the two brothers' second encounter. This time, they fought on the shore. Arthur had the upper hand, plus the golden trident, showcasing his full power. His brother was lost. Arthur didn't kill him. His mom was back.
My son.
Under the Queen's advice, Arthur's brother put down his obsession, accepting defeated. And Arthur, in the presence of everyone, became the new Sea King. That morning, as usual, his father came to the beach and waited. Only this time, he waited for his lover to come back.
You came back.